Hey, so we're here at week number 4, and I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with you. Week 1 is not easy, week 2 is not easy, week 3 is not easy, and actually neither is week 4. And I just wanted to congratulate you on making it this far. It's challenging, it's difficult, the conversations are hard, but hopefully we're gaining and growing from this time together. Week 4 is an interesting week because in reality we kind of put it all together. From the beginning of the first conversation to the 60s, talking about the pyramid and how to use it. It's all new, it's all foreign. Kimberly Jones kind of just shocks your brain. There's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff moving around right now. So we move into week 4 and we have a couple of conversations. And these conversations that we have now and the next tool that we introduce in week 4 is really about how we continue to break the soil and get to the next level. So let's talk about what happens in week 4. There were some things we talked about initially. One of the things that was key was to ask you, particularly once again, as we did in week 3, how did you come to call this racism? And in week 3, we looked at and talked about bigotry, prejudice, discrimination, stereotyping, I should say. In week 4, we introduced a few more. And the interesting thing about this is that, as we talk about what racism is, normally we come up with the things that are most familiar to us, as I said. Prejudice, stereotyping, bigotry, discrimination, those kind of things. But when it comes down to racism from the other side, we talk about white privilege, we talk about white fragility, we talk about white framing, we talk about white saviorism. There are all these other terms that identify the behavior or attitude or disposition of white people that sometimes, and actually I should say oftentimes, is not related to what racism is. I've seen it too many times when we talk about white privilege, and we talk about white privilege as this thing over there, and then we talk about racism as this thing over here. And under the racism, there is discrimination and everything else that we talked about. But the privilege, fragility, and all this stuff is not necessarily associated to racism. It's a category of whiteness. Another thing we did in week 4 to take it to the next level was to introduce Johari's window. Johari's window is a tool that is used for the ability to see, understand communication, what's happening with people, and where that communication is coming from, where their thoughts and feelings are residing in the 4 panes of the Johari window. If we can see and understand what it is people are doing, what they're not saying, where their fear is based from, where their courage or their excitement's coming from, then we can ask appropriate questions. And we can get them to expand and talk about things. And we can interject seeds of thought and education and motivate people towards a more humanistic viewpoint and a more inclusive understanding and way of being. This is why we looked at the Johari's window, 6 Ds, and the pyramid of irrational behavior. So in week 4, we put it all together. And I got to say, although I know it's challenging, you're here and you've done well. Your call to action, the most important thing for your call to action today is that you fill out the personal survey sheet. Please let us know. Answer the 6 questions we have. Answer those questions. Give us some information so that we can build and make ECCR a better tool for more people. Francis Johnson, rewatch that video. Take a look at that. Read and understand the knapsack theory or the knapsack analogy that Peggy McIntosh has created. We've sent it to you, or it's available here. So go back and read it again. Check it out. Look at Johari's window. Look at the pyramid. Put them together. Understand the flow of communication. Adjust your temperament. Adjust your conversation to understanding what this flow looks like. Understand where other people are and what they're doing so you can be effective in moving them from one place to another. So what's next? What do we do now that we understand, or we have the ability to see and maybe understand a bit more what is happening with people as they talk about these sensitive topics? What's happening with you? As we move from ally to co-conspirator, the thing that we're able to do with these tools and information is to craft language and behavior that is inviting, motivating, enthusiastic, lasting, and effective towards changing the minds and hearts of other people to an area where the fiction of race is erased. Imagine that. If we never had to talk about race again, I think we wouldn't have to do much talking about racism. The key thing is you. The key thing is in becoming a stronger and better ally, that you are now developing a path towards co-conspiratorship. We have just a couple of weeks left. But I wanted to tell you, more importantly, thank you for making it this far. We'll see you next week. Have a good day.